makes me think now that you and I are kind of putting ourselves out there. We have similar views on certain things. Could we be next? Could the Matrix come for us? That's why I want to build a portfolio that not just benefits me, but lets people kind of come out of that Matrix 9-to-5 narrative. They can make money, but they can do what they want.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode. All right, guys, we got Sachet The G here today. Someone I've known for what, 7-8 years now?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. We used to hang out back in the day in different conferences.
Yeah.
And it's been crazy seeing you blow up. Super happy for you. And then I see you in my DMs, and it's like, it was meant to be, right?
Oh, so. Yeah. And glad to see what you've done too, man. You're killing it now. I think back then we were both kind of just starting out.
Yeah. We were still trying to figure it out. And,
Yeah, I was still trying to make
crazy.
my first 6 figures back then, I think.
Yeah. Same here, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And now look at us now.
Yeah.
You're out in DC now, right?
In DC, yeah. Washington, DC, the good old capital.
Why'd you choose there?
I just grew up there, went to school there, and I realized it's actually a place that's, family oriented, like the suburbs around DC at least, and DC, Maryland, Virginia. It's a good place to settle down. I mean, it's a lot better than, let's say, when you go down to Miami, as soon as you get off the plane, it's just absolute craziness. There's not much quiet, not much peace. And I think as I grew up, I enjoyed being alone a lot more. Brought me more peace, more happiness, more productivity.
Right. So you're an introvert.
I think I'm an introvert that knows how to be an extrovert to get things done.
I love it. Yeah, you definitely have both. I mean, you live an exotic lifestyle, so you kind of have to have that balance, right?
Yeah. It's good to be proud of your achievements, proud of what you've built, but at the same time, know that, hey, this is a result of my actions. It doesn't define who I am as a person.
Right. So when you were just starting out, what was that first kind of financial breakthrough for you, and when was it?
I think, I came from, an Indian family, and traditional Indian family is like, hey, be a doctor, lawyer, or engineer, or you're a loser. And I refused to kind of comply with that. So I wasn't supported anymore, and my parents came here poor on top of that. So they didn't really because I grew up in a nice neighborhood, but it was empty. House was empty. I had 2 or 3 shirts. My parents were over leveraged on the mortgage. It was just to be in that county to go to a good school. But then I realized, hey, we did all this, and I'm not even learning what I want to be learning in school. I have to build something bigger. I have to live the American dream. So I know their intentions were good for me,
right?
But I saw something bigger, and then years after they kicked me out and I went through a bunch of hardship, and I was homeless, and I was delivering pizzas. So years after that, I got an engineering job for a little bit, and then I started a few businesses, and then this one just took off, and I'm a lot more proud of the 226 stores we have under management, serving over 800 clients, looking to get that to 1,000 stores within the next 2 years to have an even bigger impact.
Amazing. Yeah, we'll dive into that business. But going back to your story of getting kicked out, how old were you?
Yeah, I think I was, to be honest, I was an adult, but a young adult, I think 18 or 19, something like that.
And it was just a lot of fighting going on.
Yeah, it was. I was trying to work on my computer after dropping out of school, and I was building a mobile gaming company at the time, and it wasn't understood what I was doing. I was working, but it was taken as if I was just playing video games and not going to work, not going to school. So the internet was cut off. I was kicked out, and because I was refusing to go and, work at a grocery store. I quit that job. And then what happened was I had a friend whose father's bought and sold land. So he demolished these old houses and he rented out under the table month to month one of those houses to me. But there was no running water. There was no electricity. It was all more to protect me from like the storm in a wooden area, like in the woods. And then there were cockroaches, there was mold, and then every day I would sneak into the gym down the street because it was 50 cents to take a shower if you weren't a member at the gym. So I had to figure out when the security was leaving and when the next shift was. So in that few minutes of time, I could sneak in, go downstairs.
So you didn't even have 50 cents?
I didn't. No.
Holy crap.
Because, the few $100 was going to, renting that abandoned house. Yeah. And then, a little bit of food here and there. I think I ate KFC out of a dumpster once.
Holy
crap. I was
hungry.
Yeah.
That is some dark times, man.
So, it's pretty atypical for like a suburban neighborhood, but then I realized, you know what? Billions and billions and billions of people all around the world are living like that every day, and it's completely normal.
That's true. Yeah, I think it's rare from your situation, but in totality, it's common, right?
Right, exactly. So it was like, I could get like, I could get rid of the fear because I knew that there wasn't much more to lose. And that took my risk tolerance from here to here. And it's still like that to this day. Like, it's probably like that more now because I know material items aren't gonna build that for me. I could go through that again tomorrow and, I'd prefer not to, but I know I'd be fine.
Yeah, because you got quite a few sports cars and watches and stuff, right?
Yeah. Cars have always been my passion before it was the typical influencer marketing thing. I've done races with and training events with McLaren. I met the president of McLaren a few months ago.
They got a store here in the Wynn.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty sick. They have a car there that's $5 million.
Which one is it, the Senna? Or?
I don't know cars well, but there's only 5 of them, I think, in the world or something.
Yeah, they do a lot of limited production stuff, and I was able to drive the Artura when it first came out. I brought my 12C and my 570 GT to a lot of the race events, but then, if you get multiple cars from a brand, they try to sell you the next one.
Yeah.
So they bring you out. And then I remember I was training with an F1 driver. I don't want to say his name, but, and then we kind of had a little competitive fun, and the president of McLaren was there. So he's like, hey, I really like your driving capability. I was not expecting that. So why don't you come to try out for GT3, GT4? I'll be looking into that in the future.
You're nice.
Yeah. I've always had a passion, but I never like pursued it as a profession. But
yeah,
I think now that things are going upward, that's something I could invest into as a hobby.
It makes sense with your all-in type of mindset that you'd be good at racing, actually.
Absolutely. And there's nothing like the speed. It just feels like total freedom.
What's the fastest you've hit?
I think 217.
Holy crap, dude.
Just because that's as fast as the car would go, right?
Yeah, I don't even think my Tesla goes that fast. That's crazy.
Yeah, Tesla picks up. It's got torque, but I think the top speed is where they start getting pretty limited. And and the soul, the soul of internal combustion. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever get like an electric car just because I'm so addicted to that rush of a big gasoline engine.
Doesn't hit the same. Doesn't.
Yeah, but for like a family car, I think it's a great product. I think Elon's a genius, and I'm definitely an Elon fan even more than a Tesla fan.
I'm a fan, especially when he took over Twitter. I became like a super fan.
Yeah, Yeah, he did great things with X. I think he cleaned a lot of things up, and now there's a lot more organic information that people have access to.
Yeah. I love what he did because there's so many platforms where guys like Tate are banned on and they can't express themselves.
Yeah.
And I know he was a mentor of yours, so I'd love to hear what you learned from him.
Yeah, Tate, I met up with long before any of this blew up, like his War Room Society or his fame, and I think he was worth maybe $3 or $4 million when I first met him. That was in 2019. And
wow.
Helped him with marketing at the very beginning when he had launched CobraTate.com. Maybe it was just a couple years in.
Yeah.
And I found his YouTube when he was getting maybe 3,000 or 4,000 views per video. And at first I was like, is this guy being serious about everything? And I just found it very entertaining. But then I was like, you know what? He's joking, but at the same time, he's telling the truth. So I followed him on YouTube, on Instagram, and then I saw, hey, he's in DC. So I reached out to him. And then he responded, he said, hey, I'm staying at the Trump International with my brother Tristan. Why don't you come by and we can talk? I get there. Turns out it's a political convention. So I see like, I think Ben Shapiro and Alex Jones and all these people walking by, right? And I sit down with him. I didn't get to talk to his brother much. He was on another table. And me and one of my best friends, got to know him before any of this stuff happened, before he became the most famous man in the world.
Did you see it coming at all?
I definitely felt like something big was going to happen. And, obviously now he's a little too busy to respond, right? But he used to text me back all the time. So.
That's cool. Yeah, I hope he beats that case, man.
Yeah. I think there's definitely an agenda behind
for sure. It's not even like a question. It's at this point, it's who's doing it.
Yeah, I think he's a good man. His brother's a good man, and they've contributed a lot of good things to society. And maybe they were looked down upon for their previous businesses, but he didn't do anything illegal. He didn't hurt anybody. He didn't force anyone to do anything wrong. And, it makes me think now that you and I are kind of putting ourselves out there and amassing a following, and we have similar views on certain things. Could we be next? Could the Matrix come for us? And that's why I want to build a portfolio that not just benefits me, but lets people kind of come out of that Matrix 9-to-5 narrative where they can make money, but they can do what they want. They can live how they want. They can say what they want without being vilified for no reason.
You reach a certain level, someone's knocking on your door. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think I'd give in. I don't think I'd sell my soul. I'd rather die than do that.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to say it now, but I'm on the same page. We'll see what the hell they offer and what goes down, but they might have blackmail on us. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, they go after everyone, though. I mean, Russell Brand, Alex Jones, anyone that gets to a certain level and speaks out.
Have you had any encounters?
I got, so I host these networking events every month. I think you might have been to some of my early ones. I don't remember. But at my last one in Vegas, someone from the WEF approached me.
Wow.
So I was like, holy like I'm definitely on their radar now.
What'd they say?
They wanted me to join. They offered to fly me out, all this stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Now are they going to say things about you? They kind of did that to that presidential candidate, Vivek.
Yeah.
He refused to join, and then they started slandering him.
Really? I didn't even know about that. Probably eventually. I don't know if I'm there yet, but it's interesting, you know?
Yeah.
I think the truth will always win in the long run, but these campaigns, these smear campaigns aren't as effective as I think they are.
Do you think you'll stay in America as you grow your brand?
I'd love to, because this is the podcasting capital of the world. But I am planning I have citizenship in UK and Ireland. So I have that if I need to.
Okay.
Looking into Dubai right now, getting that golden visa there and looking at some other options. I think it's safe to have multiple options as an American citizen right now.
Absolutely. You can't like put your eggs all in one basket and be controlled by one government and expect to be able to reach your max potential.
Yeah. And they'll go after you even if you move too.
Right. Yeah.
There's not many countries that do that. So that's a little scary too.
Yeah. There's no guarantees, but you know, if someone's coming after me, I'd rather make it as hard as possible for them.
I mean, look at Diddy. Didn't he go to like Virgin Islands or something?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a little different.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a crazy thing. Who knows what's going down there? There's probably a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, these days I don't even have time to like pay attention to pop culture. Like,
no, it's a waste of time.
Me, hey, you hear about that? You hear about? I'm like, who is this person?
No, it's such a waste of time. I used to care about what celebrities do and stuff. Now it's just irrelevant.
Now you just interview them.
Yeah. But a lot of them are controlled, man. It's a shame.
Yeah.
I really look forward to some of the interviews. They show up and they got PR teams up their or they got stuff they're trying to promote the whole episode or someone they got to answer to.
Yeah, I have nobody.
Yeah, those are the best episodes. Like my most viewed clips are people that you've never heard of.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking
their
a
lot
mind.
of interesting people on.
Yeah. A couple interesting tweets you have. I want to run by you and see what your thought process was.
Yeah.
You tweeted out that people that go to music festivals are wasting their time.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I think people that invest too much into like artists or even, you know, athletes or any type of celebrities, like it's cool to have a hobby or an enjoyment on the side, but most people that do that, they get too much into it. Just like most people who drink don't have a drink. They just drink every day or at least 3, 4, 5 times a week. And then they kind of lose what they want to do for themselves. And it doesn't make sense. And then, you know, that line just keeps getting pushed further and further to the point that they're living vicariously through somebody else instead of for themselves. And they idolize these people who, to be frank, most of them aren't even that great of people. Like, so, you know, I like living for myself, for my family, for those I love, rather than pedestalizing another human being because I know that they're not better than me, right?
Yeah.
They might be more successful than me for now, but it doesn't make sense for me to spend my money and my time and, you know, get attached to somebody that's not benefiting me in any way, singing or throwing a ball or whatever. So music festivals, I think, and sports games, etc., it's a way for people to escape not being happy with their own lives. I'd rather take the opposite approach and reward myself after I've accomplished what I want to accomplish.
I like that. Yeah, you got to be careful with the idolizing. I think there's a level of respect and things you can learn from that person. But once you're an extreme super fan, it could get a little dangerous.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's people that like follow these guys around in public. It's like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, it's wild. Like they have stalkers, groupies, and just overhype, you know?
Yeah, it's weird, dude. Definitely weird. Another tweet, this one was interesting. So you tweeted out that being humble will cost you.
Yeah. I mean, if you start out being humble and you get walked all over regardless of you knowing who you are and your accomplishments and what you went through, then people start expecting that. And when you do well, they start to resent you. So I'd rather just be straight up front. I'm not going to brag about myself as an exaggeration, but I'm also not going to restrict myself from saying who I am to please somebody when they haven't even done the work to get where I am, right? So people that say be humble, anyone that says that is not being humble themselves. Right? It's like you want me to come down, not to your level, but to whoever's saying it, to make them feel better. It makes no sense to me. I mean, you don't have to go and insult people for not, being successful or anything. You can encourage them, but there's no point of acting like I'm not as great as I am.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
I always thought the word humble was kind of cringe, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd rather just like say be willing to like learn or expand.
Yeah. Ask good questions, learn, but don't hide yourself. Yeah. It's not genuine,
I agree, because there's times in my life when I was trying to be humble or whatever, and no one would approach me because they didn't know what I was up to.
Right.
Even though I was doing interesting things.
Absolutely.
So there's a balance of just speaking your resume, right?
Yeah, definitely. I don't believe in holding back.
Yeah. You also don't want to overflex too, though.
Yeah.
Because then you're attracting a lot of negative energy.
Yeah, you could attract the wrong people that way, but I think it's still better than being humble.
So you'd rather overflex than not flex at all?
Yeah, because you'll get bad attention, but you'll also get good attention. Right. Whereas if you just don't do anything, you don't put yourself out there, then you'll get no attention, which is even worse, because then there's no progression. There's no movement. There's less activity.
I could see that. And you've made a very cognizant effort to have good people around you.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a journey, I'm sure. Being where you're at, you've experienced.
I'm still doing
similar. Yeah. There's really just 3 types of people. Like,
are you interested in coming on the Digital Social Hour podcast as a guest? We'll click the application link below in the description of this video. We are always looking for cool stories, cool entrepreneurs to talk to about business and life. Click the application link below, and here's the episode, guys.
One of them says, does what they say they're gonna do. One of them talks a big game, but they never follow through.
Right.
And then the third one has no accountability, no responsibility, and they're completely lost. So the first one is the type of people I try to surround myself with, where I see their actions match their words, not people who just have words and no actions. And not people that are just completely lost. Like, it's not my job to fix them. So you run into people, you have experiences with them, and you can put them in one of these 3 categories. And if you just exclusively have the number 1 category around you, then you have integrity, character, and success, and it's a positive cycle. When you have number 2 and 3 around you, it's just so draining.
Yeah.
It just holds you back. And I used to try to fix those people, but now I just, as soon as I see it, I'm just like, look, man.
It's too much work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those number 2s are hard to get rid of sometimes too, because you just believe their lies.
Yeah.
They just say, oh, I'm going to introduce you to this person. I'm going to do this for you.
Yeah.
And they drag it on for months and months.
Yeah. Yeah. And they actually, I guess, hype you up even more than number 1.
Right.
So that's, I think.
They're good talkers.
Yeah.
A lot of politicians.
Yeah, exactly.
2s.
They have to get really good at talking because they're not good at anything else.
Yeah. Speaking of politicians, you had some stuff with McAfee I saw on your LinkedIn.
Oh, wow. You went that far, huh?
I went deep, man. I saw you were helping out with his campaign, right?
Yeah. Rest in peace. I mean, he had a lot of problems, but he was a good man and he was a smart man. And I don't think, like, that's one of those people I think they tried to take down.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was not a coincidence.
He literally had a tattoo.
Yeah, he would never
that
kill
said
himself.
He would never kill himself.
And he tweeted it many times too.
Yeah. I think he had a lot of information on the deep state and many other things going on, and on crypto and how it's going to change the dynamic of economics. It's going to get rid of fractional reserve banking. And these things, when you touch on them, not just touch on them, but build a career around these things, a lot of people really high up, they feel really threatened.
Yeah.
And things like this happen. And, the amount of people it's happened to that touch on this, on these subjects, it's very hard for me to believe that that's a coincidence. And I just want to say here right now, I will never, ever kill myself, no matter what.
I'm the same way, man. I don't think I'd ever do it.
So
Just to make that clear. But yeah, there's crypto billionaires that just end up dead. If I was a crypto billionaire, I wouldn't even tell anyone, dude.
yeah.
Like, that's just a death sentence.
Are you?
No. One day, maybe, though. I'm big on crypto right now.
Yeah? What are you in?
ETH, Bitcoin, Solana, and some altcoins.
Wow. What altcoin?
A ton. Like, I held everything from the last bull run, so whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a holder. I
I don't sell ever, yeah. I'm thinking about taking a loan out against some balance at the top of this next bull run to buy a house, maybe. But
yeah,
I don't sell, which is good and bad.
I think it's great for the blue chips because you're just like fighting inflation at that point, but you're not also like losing all your money in these pump and dumps.
Yeah.
And I remember in 2011 or 12, Bitcoin was at like $12. And I was telling everybody, I was like, this is going to change the world. And nobody believed me. They're like, what is this fake internet money?
Yeah.
Like, do you use it on RuneScape or something? Like,
shout out to RuneScape. Bro. That was my
yeah, right. And yeah, but there's no other asset class that's infinitely divisible, that's hard capped, inflation proof, and that you can use as a currency and as a security. So you can't go to Starbucks and give them, an ounce of gold and expect change back for that.
Right.
They're not going to take it. But you can give them 0.00001 Bitcoin or whatever the, whatever the exchange is. And no matter what the price gets, it's infinitely divisible and it can be equivalent to the value you're trading for a product. And gold can't do that because it's not infinitely divisible. Cash is just trash. They just keep printing so much. What else is there besides crypto that does all of those things simultaneously?
Can't think of it. You could buy almost anything with crypto these days. I've seen friends of mine buy a house with crypto, watches, yachts,
cars. All the dealerships are
cars.
selling cars.
Yeah, all the luxury dealerships take Bitcoin and Ethereum now.
Aston Martin, Lamborghini.
Yep. It's pretty wild. It's come a long way. I'm really happy to see it.
Yeah.
Because when we were growing up, it was just, if you wanted to buy a fake ID, you needed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now it's like everyone takes it.
Yeah.
I even take it. People have paid me in crypto for services.
Legitimate economic impact.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all because cash is just trash right now, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I try to keep 100K max in cash just in case something happens. But that's about it.
Same here. I don't keep a lot of cash.
Yeah, it's the worst investment you can make.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on real estate?
Real estate, we're long due for a market crash, I believe. We've had that, when was the last time? Like 08. Yeah, 08, 09. It's supposed to happen every 12 years on average. We're long past that, and I don't see it going forever. So I haven't bought a property yet. I've rented everywhere I've lived. I don't think it's going to be as good of an investment as people think. They're acting just like they did in 07, everyone that's buying up properties right now. Then the other argument is, cash flow, right? It's the most common passive income situation. So why would you, like, around my area, a townhouse might be like $850,000 to $1 million, like a basic 2 or 3 bedroom townhouse, nothing crazy. They rent out for maybe $2,000 to $3,000. How long does it take to break even on that investment? Even after, if you don't account for all the expenses, maintenance,
That's
repairs.
like 20, 30 years.
Yeah. It's a whole lifetime. You get locked down to this one property. And I think it's all the banks. I mean, who really benefits the most? The people selling the mortgages and the banks. Those are the people that get rich off of real estate, not the people buying the real estate. And not even so much the people selling the real estate unless they're doing a bunch of wholesale deals. So I think it was the biggest scam created by the banks as an additional financial product to sell. Because you think American dream now, you think, oh, I have to own a house. But if you think about it, how's that going to benefit you? There's really few ways it's going to benefit you. You might feel good that you own something for yourself. That's about it.
Yeah, they've really monopolized that whole financial sector of things, banks. You can't even start your own bank or credit card if you wanted to in the US.
Yeah. It's I think all these financial instruments have to be owned and controlled by a very small group of people. And I think they're running things even more than the politicians are.
Do you believe there's like an elite group that kind of runs the world?
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see it. If they've accumulated wealth through generations, by the time we're living right now, they have billions, maybe trillions. Who knows?
Yeah. All the satanic cults.
Yeah, with that amount of money, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Pay off whoever you need to.
And I don't think someone that powerful would show their face.
Definitely not. It would make them a target.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they got to operate in the shadows.
Yeah. I think, justice will come. I think there will be exposure at some point in our lifetimes. Like, not just the exposure we've already seen, but massive, massive exposure.
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully it's in our lifetime. We'll see.
Yeah.
Scary time raising kids right now, man.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
you want to have
them,
kids?
I do, but not in public school or not in church or anything.
Same.
Definitely not. I mean, we had to deprogram our minds to get out of it. We didn't get out of it till our 20s, probably.
Right.
All that unlearning we had to do.
Yeah. It was, I was always curious what makes people immune to that versus just immediately conditioned by the system.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's hardship. I don't know if it's family. What do you think it is?
I think it's everything. You just start questioning. And I think the access to information now is incredible. But you and I had to figure out without watching other people online because YouTube was just coming out when we were in high school, I think.
Exactly.
So we had to just figure it out on our own. But now there's so much information. I think it's a little easier to get out of it.
I think there's a lot of good information and a lot of bad information. So now the struggle is like sifting through all that and seeing what's real and what's not. Whereas if you're at that point with no information to getting information, then I think we were lucky to be alive during that period of time.
Yeah.
Because that's where most of the filtered stuff was there before there was too much crap out there or nothing at all.
True. And I think us going to events really helped to get some new perspectives.
Yeah.
Because we were, the top kids in our town, which was cool, but we didn't know there was other people like us.
Yeah, once you get to talk to people face to face, they'll open up to you a lot more than they would via a text message or a phone call or social media.
Yeah.
So being in a room with people that are thinking the same way is definitely one of the most beneficial things you can do.
Absolutely. I want to talk about your business, man. You said 226 stores?
226, yeah. A lot of our clients have multiple, so we have over 80 clients, but, hundreds of stores.
And are these online? Are these on Amazon?
Yeah, they're on Amazon and Facebook Marketplace, and we have a few on eBay here and there and other platforms, but mostly Amazon, FBA, and Facebook Marketplace. We used to do drop shipping, but now it's just FBA. We're running things through 3 different warehouses where we repackage for compliance, then ship it to Amazon. Yeah. And then on Marketplace, we're still drop shipping. So it's a lot quicker to start up Marketplace, but it caps out. But Amazon, it just
crushes.
It
Dude,
just
I use Amazon every day.
Yeah.
For real. I live right next to a center, so I get within like 4 hours.
Within 4 hours.
It's nuts, dude.
Yeah, same day, sometimes even same hour.
Yeah, and apparently they're going to start using drones.
Yeah, Amazon's going crazy. I mean, I think the easiest thing to do really is kind of go with, like, instead of working so hard and trying to sell things, put yourself in the stream of what's already selling. Like, we don't do white label brands. We don't do private label. We just get the data. It's a data business, really, not a retail business, because we get the data on what's selling right now, this very second, this month. What are the best-selling products? Okay, where are the suppliers with the highest margin? All right, let's list it. Sale, sale, sale. Boom. Reinvest the client's credit into the next round of products and just keep cycling through it. And it's not a linear business like real estate where you're making $2,000, $3,000 a month in cash flow. It's like every month nearly. I mean, there's some downtimes, but it grows.
Wow.
It's always a
Snowball
positive
effect.
correlation. Yeah.
Yeah, because as you get more clients and more stores, right?
Yeah.
Revenue increases.
On average, we list 40 products a month
Holy crap.
per store. So month 1, you have 40. Month 2, you have 80. Month 3, you have 120, etc. And it just keeps snowballing because the previous stuff is still selling and we restock. And then the new stuff is definitely selling because we just got that
cool.
new data.
I like that. So you're basically seeing, oh, these products are selling well. I'll order 40 of these.
Yeah.
And undercut them a little bit and basically make money that way, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like the main thing I think is, I mean, the data and the products are important, but the infrastructure is even more important. So anyone can go out there and start their own Amazon store, but it's going to take you 7 to 8 years to build a team that's not screwing you over and have the warehouses in place and have the compliance and your own systems and all of those things in place versus you can just spend 30 grand. Like you could follow me at G Venture Group, message me, I'll give you all the details. But the short thing is you can just spend 30 grand cash and we'll set all this up for you. And then you need a 20K minimum credit card. And we cycle through that every 2 weeks because Amazon pays out every 2 weeks. So we can do up to 40K a month with your credit on orders. And if you have more credit, even better. Most of our clients have more credit. So about at least 40K worth of orders per month. And then 20% on top of that, 20 to 30% net profit. And then we only bill you 60% of the net profit. So if you made $10,000 after paying off your card profit this month, we'll bill you $6,000. So the great thing is after the 30 grand, you're not really at risk of losing money because you're only paying through what we made you.
Right. It's a profit split.
Right. And if you get anything else set up, like a franchise or something, like a McDonald's does that, right? They have the drive-through manager, janitor, food trucks, everything in place. You just buy it as is and it starts running. But what's that going to cost you? Like $1.5 million, $2 million? How soon are you going to break even on that? Right. We have clients breaking even in 12 months, 18 months because they're cycling the product on credit.
Yeah.
And the service fee is just for setup for us to get the payroll. Right, for us to get pay for the warehouse leases, the office leases we have with the 120 product analysts, the 19 people we have in Canada and the US, right? So it all covers the cost of that. I think the trickiest thing about this business is we have a certain amount of qualified labor and resources, and once we hire them, we're paying them on the bench, right? So we have to get a client immediately. But then once we get those clients for that available labor, then we have to go out and find those people again. So it takes months and months and months sometimes to find the right people because we want to keep that quality control. Right now we have 2 availabilities, for example. So anyone can message me at G Venture Group right now, can send all the info, and we want to get those 2 started by next week. So we can grow them to the same level of our other 226 accounts within the next year or 2.
Yeah. What's the most you've seen a store make on Amazon?
That's a good question. I think about between 3 and 4 million gross sales.
It's really good for one store.
Yeah, but that honestly takes about 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, but still, that's impressive because you're also stacking all those credit card points.
Right, exactly. And then we let the client keep all of that. So they're not only making a return, it's less risk because they're cycling the credit.
Yeah.
But then they're also keeping all their rewards, whether that's cash back, whether that's travel points, depending on the card.
Yeah, bro. Because if you're spending 40K a month, that could be 120K points with the right card.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're flying for free. You're staying at hotels for free for life.
Exactly. So, this whole setup, like I was saying earlier, can literally take you out of the matrix. And you don't have to do anything. You just have to leverage your cash and your credit. And then everything else is taken care of you. It's completely hands off, all done for you. There's no more headache of, oh, what business should I start? How am I going to make this successful? What systems am I going to set up? No, let's start one for you. And then if it works out in the next 18 months, then, you know, come back like most of our other clients and get multiple accounts. So it's very simple.
It's cool, man. Let's take this full circle. Were you able to rekindle with your parents, rekindle that relationship?
Yeah. I think now they trust my judgment and decision making. I think I took them out of kind of the old school way of thinking.
And that's hard for our parents because they were programmed for 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
To think that education was everything.
It's very difficult, you know.
Especially for Indians.
Yeah, in the places they were in, it was true. It was very true where they came from. But it's not true here. So they just assumed like, hey, because this is how I grew up, this is how I knew success was gained, I'm going to instill that in my kids, which makes sense. But, you know, I'm going to teach my kids when I have them, like what I know. And I think that would benefit them even more.
For sure. Yeah, my mom was the same. She was from China. So to escape China, you had to get straight A's and go to the best college and everything. And that makes sense why she wanted me to do well in school.
Where was your dad from?
He was from Ireland, but he was a genius IQ, so he didn't give a about school actually. But my mom would push it heavy for sure.
Yeah. How did she react to your
it was
career?
tough. It was always a battle at home, honestly, because I didn't do well in school academically. So that was always a battle. And then going to college, I didn't get good grades. So that was a clash. But now she's same thing with you.
Yeah.
Started producing
She's seen the
numbers.
results, so she's okay with it.
I'm glad she stuck it out because a lot of parents would not forgive their kids for
my way or the highway. Right?
Dropping out and disgracing the Asian heritage.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, it's been fun. Anything you want to promote or close off with?
Just follow me at G Venture Group. I want to get you guys set up, even if you don't want to buy anything from me or my company. I love having conversations just like this one. And, if you guys have anything that's going extremely well, like Sean's, I'd love to be a guest on your show too.
Cool. We'll link your stuff below. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
Pleasure seeing you.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.